What's up, lab mates? Are you ready for another mind-blowing and thrilling experiment?
Just like getting to know the science behind the world we live in, we will get to know the chemistry behind the activity that we will do. For today's video,
We will be your amazing gas collectors!
Do you know that when you blow and fart, you release some type of gas? That's carbon dioxide, nitrogen, and oxygen.
Ew,
That's still carbon dioxide, nitrogen, and oxygen, but with methane and hydrogen sulfide, and those are all gases. In this experiment, we will learn how to collect a kind of gas called ethane, or commonly known as acetylene gas. These are the intended learning outcomes of this laboratory activity. Demonstrate the chemical reaction of calcium carbide and water. Collect acetylene gas through displacement method. Discuss the redox reaction between the two reactants and the products. These are the materials needed for the making of the improvised laboratory apparatus. Calcium carbide is composed of calcium and 2 carbon atoms. It is colorless when pure and grayish-brown when technical grades are added. Water is composed of 2 hydrogen atoms and 1 oxygen atom. It can exist in the 3 states of matter under required conditions.
before proceeding to our experiment, we will first know your thoughts on what will happen when we mix calcium carbide and water.
It will bubble.
How about you?
It will produce smoke.
How about when we apply heat to acetylene gas?
It will produce fire. The gas will escape.
To know if these are correct, let's watch this.
Before starting the experiment, observe standard operational procedures. Calcium carbide is the main hazardous and toxic material in this experiment. To make the improvised apparatus, here are the things you need to prepare and do. Create a hole using a drilling machine. Scrape the lid of the jar using a sandpaper. And insert the metal pipe in the hole using a soldering gun and wire. This is now the improvised apparatus which will be used to collect the ethane gas. To demonstrate the chemical reaction of calcium carbide and water, put 1 gram of calcium carbide in the jar. Prepare the vial and add water to it. In the jar with the calcium carbide, add 75 ml of water and cover it with the lid immediately. The reaction between calcium carbide and water starts. Connect the improvised apparatus in the pneumatic throw, submerge the vial, and insert it in the vinyl pipe. Wait until the water in the vial becomes displaced by the gas coming from the pipe. That is now the collected ethane or acetylene gas. The chemical reaction of calcium carbide goes like this. Calcium carbide reacted with water resulted to the products ethane or the C2H2 or acetylene gas plus calcium hydroxide plus heat. To balance the equation, just add a coefficient in the water of 2 to make the hydrogen atom and the oxygen atom in the both sides equal and attain an equal total mass of the reactants and the product. To show the redox reaction, we will assign the oxidation states. In the reactant side, positive 2 for calcium, negative 1 for carbon, positive 1 for hydrogen, and negative 2 for oxygen. In the product side, positive 1 for carbon, negative 1 for hydrogen, positive 2 for calcium, negative 2 for oxygen, and positive 1 for hydrogen. Carbon is the reducing agent since it's been oxidized, and hydrogen is the oxidizing agent since it's been reduced. To test the flammability of the acetylene gas, we used a portable lighter. Since it produced fire, the laboratory experiment is successful as we have collected ethine.
Are you still there, lab mates? Are you amazed how we were able to demonstrate the chemical reaction of calcium carbide in water? Do you now believe that we can produce acetylene gas and fire? To see is to believe. But to believe is also to understand.
Here's a quick explanation of the chemistry behind our experiment.
The reaction produces initial bubbling. The initial bubbling observed in the preparation of acetylene gas occurs due to the chemical reaction between calcium carbide and water. Gas particles flows through the vinyl pipe. Since the improvised apparatus is securely lidded and the reaction between calcium carbide and water produces gas, the only way for the gas to escape is through the vinyl pipe going to the vial. Water was displaced by the gas in the vial. It is due to the increasing amount of acetylene gas entering to the upside-down vial, maintaining a constant pressure. So more water was pushed out until only few water vapor remains, and water was eventually displaced by the increasing volume of gas.
In the study of organic chemistry, this hands-on experiment is useful in many ways. Because of this, we can understand how chemical reactions of organic compounds take place. If you also want to try this, make sure to observe safety measures and standard operational procedures. We would love to see you do this experiment as well. That's it for today's laboratory activity.
Once again, we hope that this has been another fun learning experience for you.
We are science majors, and we are